Welcome back to my channel and my craft room. I'm Kelly Wicker and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're diving into a fun card project featuring the Little Smiles Collection from Spellbinders. And it's just full of charm and playful details. If you love die cutting, sweet card designs, and little crafty inspiration, you're definitely in the right place. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into today's card making adventure. Alright y'all, for today's card project, I'm featuring a brand new release from Spellbinders. It's the Little Smiles Collection, and I had so much fun creating with this set. I don't usually make baby or toddler cards, but I just couldn't resist having the sweet collection in my stash. As an affiliate, Spellbinders was kind enough to send me several items to play with, including Swinging Among the Stars, Go Kart Go, Bundle of Joy, the Little Smiles BETTERPRESS Sentiment Set, and the Falling Stars BETTERPRESS Plate, which is really cool. And this coordinates with the Wishing Stars 3D embossing folder. And you know I love embossing folders. I also brought in a few basics like the Landscape Edges Etch dies, the Perfect Touch rectangles to help pull everything together. There are a few other tools and supplies I'll be using along the way, and I'll point those out as I go. I'll have everything linked below in the description box, including my affiliate links. And if anything is out of stock at Spellbinders, I'll include an Amazon link too. Shopping through those links really helps support my channel, and I appreciate it so much. Now let me show you the cards I made. Now I have to show off the 3 cards I made so far with this amazing collection. I just love them so much. Each one turned out so fun and playful, and honestly it was hard to pick which one to feature in today's video. I'd love to know which one is your favorite. Let me know in the comments. Alright y'all, without further ado, let's get into the card making fun. Today I'm starting out with hot foiling the sentiments. I've got my glimmer machine and Platinum 6 all set up and ready to go. I'm using the Little Smiles BETTERPRESS plate and die set, and even though it's made for BETTERPRESS, it works beautifully with foil too. For this project, I'm using the Prism foil from Spellbinders. I love that extra bit of sparkle it adds. One of my favorite things about this plate is that it presses 9 sentiments all at once in this super playful hand-printed font. And the matching die cuts them all at once too. Such a time saver and perfect for having extras on hand for future projects. For my white cardstock, I'm using Nina. It's one of my go-tos for hot foiling because it holds the impression beautifully. Normally I use Hammermill, but I'm currently out of that. I'm trimming down the Prism foil using my favorite Spellbinders scissors. They are sharp and perfect for cutting foil cleanly. I'm also adding a piece of extra cardstock on top of the foil before running it through the machine. That extra layer just helps create a little more pressure, which gives me a cleaner, crisper foil impression. Then I'm placing the thin shim and spacer pad on top, just like the glimmer instructions call for, and we're ready to foil. Okay, so a few seconds ago I actually showed you the card that I ended up picking for today's video. It's really cute. It's the hippo one. I just fell in love with him. And I'm actually changing it up though. And turns out I'm going to end up making the elephant because I just fell in love with the elephant too. So anyways, I am removing the glimmer platform and running it through my Platinum 6 to add the pressure for foiling. And now for the best part, the peel and reveal there. Just look at that shine with the Prism foil. I love how it turned out, y'all. Okay, now it's time for some die cutting. We're going to cut out the sentiments here. So I'm grabbing my magnetic mat and plates from my Empress Mini to die cut this. That way I don't need to use any tape to hold the die in place. I'll go ahead and run it through the machine off camera real quick. Alright y'all, check out all these great sentiments. Look how easy that was. They look amazing and that foil came out perfect. I used my magnetic pickup tool to grab the die after cutting. It makes it so easy to live without poking around or touching hot plates. I'll have that linked below if you're interested. It's such a handy little tool to have on your desk. Now I'm moving on to create today's card panel. I'm using the Perfect Touch rectangles and tag dies to cut the panel to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, the perfect size for an A2 top folding note card. For the cardstock, I'm using the color Oceanside from the new Color Wheel cardstock line by Spellbinders. It's such a beautiful color, and I thought it would make a great base for a nighttime scene. It has that deep, dreamy look without being too dark. I've got everything set up and ready to run through the die cutting machine, following the instructions for the universal plate system. I just love these rectangle dies. They cut so clean and give the panel a super polished finish. I really wanted to use the Falling Stars BETTERPRESS plate for the night sky. It's just such a cool plate and adds the perfect touch of whimsy. And of course I had to foil with it. I mean, shiny stars, yes please. The new Color Wheel cardstock foils beautifully. It gives such a smooth, clean result. Just check it out. The shine really brings the whole night sky to life. Here's the peel and reveal. There are just a few little spots on this panel where the foil over-transferred a bit, which totally happens sometimes, especially on darker cardstock like this. So I'm grabbing my Mono Sand eraser to clean it up. This tool is so handy, it gently removes that extra foil without messing up your cardstock, and it's perfect for little touch-ups like this. If you do any kind of hot foiling, I definitely recommend having one in your craft stash. I use mine all the time, and it has saved quite a few projects. I'll have it linked below with my affiliate links in case you want to grab one too. And y'all, just look at that starry panel. Isn't it fantastic? The foil came out so shiny and clean, and it makes the perfect background for the sweet little nighttime scene I've got planned. The Falling Stars BETTERPRESS plate adds just the right touch of magic, and the Color Wheel cardstock from Spellbinders foils beautifully. I'm so excited to keep building this card from here. Alright y'all, now we're moving on to the beautiful 3D embossing folder called Wishing Stars. And y'all, this one is just gorgeous. It's designed to coordinate perfectly with the Falling Stars BETTERPRESS plate. And when you use the two together, it really brings a magical starry sky to life. I'm giving my cardstock a light spritz of water before embossing, just a quick mist. This helps relax the fibers in the paper so you get a really deep, clean impression without cracking, especially with thicker or more textured cardstock. I'm taking a moment to line up the cardstock just right inside the folder so the stars are placed exactly where I want them. Then I'm following the instructions for the 3D embossing folder sandwich using the universal plate system from Spellbinders. It's super easy once you get the hang of it, and it gives such a beautiful results with these 3D folders. And we're just finishing running it through. And wait till you see this. Alright y'all, and just look at this embossed background. Here we go. Isn't it fantastic? The stars have so much depth and detail. They pop right off the page. It adds the perfect amount of texture without taking away from the rest of the card. This folder is definitely one of those that I'll be reaching for again and again, especially for dreamy night skies of any kind of magical scene. I just love how it turned out. I went ahead and die cut all the pieces off camera to save a little time, and I've got everything tucked into my craft stack trays. Those trays are so great for keeping all the little die cuts organized while I work. The cardstock I'm using today is a mix of Spellbinders and Lawn Fawn. I'm loving mixing and matching to get just the right color combinations, and both cut beautifully with these detailed dies. Now I'm starting to piece together the Swinging Among the Stars etched die set, and I decided to switch things up a bit for today's card. This set comes with both an adorable hippo and the sweetest little elephant. And as much as I love the hippo, I just had to use the elephant this time. Earlier I showed you the card I made for today and it had the hippo. Well, this time I'm using the elephant because, well, I just had to. He's just so cute and I couldn't resist. So to assemble the pieces, I'm using a combination of the Spellbinders tape runner and my Barely Art glue, which I keep in my Spellbinders fine tip glue bottle. That fine tip is perfect for getting into all the tiny areas, especially for those little eyes, ears, and star details. The tape runner works great for layering the larger backgrounds elements quickly, and then I can switch to liquid glue for the more detailed work. It gives me a little more wiggle room and precision. And if you're ever not sure how all the pieces go together with a die set like this, Spellbinders has a really helpful diagram on their website that shows the full assembly step by step. I always appreciate when companies include that kind of resource. It makes putting everything together so much easier and way less intimidating. I just love these sweet little clouds. They add so much charm to the scene. I'm letting a few hang off the edges, and I'll use my Spellbinder scissors to trim off the excess for a nice clean look. I'm also bringing in the sentiment now to make sure everything's lined up just right, since I still want to add a few extra sparkly stars to the background. Alright, it's time to piece this cute little elephant together and place him into the basket to see how everything looks. And oh my gosh, y'all, isn't he the cutest? I mean, this right here is exactly why I had such a hard time choosing between the hippo and the elephant today. I really wanted to use the elephant. I already used the hippo in my card earlier, as you saw, so I knew for today I just had to give the elephant a moment to shine. I love how his little ears flop out into the sides and how perfectly he fits into the scene. It adds so much personality to the card. What do y'all think? Would you have picked the elephant too, or would you have gone with the hippo? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your favorite is. Here I am adding some very sparkly stars that I cut out earlier just to fill in a few of those open spaces in the background because, well, why not? I just thought it was fun to do. There's something about adding those final little touches that really makes the whole scene feel complete. These stars add a beautiful shimmer and a little extra magic to the night sky. They help balance everything out visually and keep the background feeling full and dreamy without being too busy. I love how the sparkle plays off the foiled stars and that embossed texture from the Wishing Stars folder. It creates so much depth and movement. It's such a fun way to wrap up this playful nighttime scene. I always say, when in doubt, add more sparkle, and in this case, it just brought the whole thing together. It's really starting to look like that perfect little starry adventure for our sweet little elephant in the balloon basket. We're almost there, just a few more steps before everything comes together into the final card. I'm just finishing up adding the last of the stars, and y'all, that sparkly holographic cardstock from Lawn Fawn really made a difference here. It catches the light in the best way and gives the whole scene this magical, whimsical feel. I love how the stars shift and shine. It adds a little something extra that takes the card to the next level. It's just so fun. I am honestly in love with how this scene turned out. Between the shimmer, the sweet little elephant, and that dreamy night sky, it all just came together in the best way. This is one of those cards that makes me smile every time I look at it, and I hope it brings a smile to whoever receives it. Okay, now I'm just finishing adding the last couple of stars here. The last one goes here up in the upper left-hand corner. There we go. And now I'm just going to add some tape to the back of the card panel and placing it onto the card base. This is an A2 top folding card, so the panel fits perfectly at a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I always love this part when everything comes together and the scene feels complete. I'm grabbing my scrapbook adhesive foam squares to pop up the sentiment I hot foiled earlier. I think it'll fit perfectly right here in the bottom right hand corner. Just enough dimension to help it stand out without taking away from the rest of the scene. I love how it ties everything together. Alright y'all, so I'm just adding the foam squares to the sentiment here, removing the backers, and I'm going to place it on the bottom right hand corner here, using the edge there to line it up nice and straight. So I thought that looked good right there, the bottom right hand corner. It really finishes off the scene so nicely. So now let me show you how I made the star balloon look like it's swinging. So at first I made a little mistake and added a bit too much foam behind it, which totally took away the movement I wanted, but no worries. I pulled it up gently and adjusted it. So in the end, I decided I didn't actually want the elephant to swing freely because I really wanted that sweet sentiment to stay visible. So instead I added a foam square behind the back of the basket and tilted it slightly to the side to look like he's swinging in the air. It still gives the illusion of the movement, but keeps everything nice and readable. And honestly, I love how that little angle adds even more character to the whole card. Don't y'all? I think just wait till you see it come together here. And just adding the basket there. And so now I'm just wrapping up the card making project. I had so much fun playing with this Little Smiles collection from Spellbinders. It's just the sweetest set with so many fun pieces to mix and match. As you saw, I made 3 cards. I'm going to be making more with this set. It's just so fun. I hope this project gave you a little inspiration for your own cards and maybe even encourage you to play around with scene building and a little extra sparkle. Gotta have that sparkle, am I right? So if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. I'm working toward that big milestone of 1,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who subscribed and left kind comments. You truly make this creative journey so much fun. And don't forget, I'll have all the tools and supplies I used today linked below in the description box, including my affiliate links. Shopping through those links doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help support my channel, and I appreciate that more than you know. Thanks so much for crafting with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Just look at that card. It's so great. Ciao for now.